What's up everybody? If you're new to the channel, this is your first time, welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Shane, and this is The Shane Show. Alright guys, in today's video, we are going to be working on the R33. And for those of you who don't know, I've had this R33 since 2010, so 9 years. Today is April 19th, 2019. And we rebuilt the motor 9 years ago. Well, over the last year, we did like a move and stuff like that. Well, the car wasn't driven much. When we went to work on the car, it wasn't running well. So long story short, I had to rip the motor apart and found out that the head was not built correctly. And so everything I did on my part 9 years ago was all good, but the head was, we only had 5,000 miles on the motor, and it looked like it had 100,000 miles on it, according to the guy that we dropped it off to. So shout out to Dyno Comp here in Scottsdale for referring me to Automotive Scottsdale Machine. And yeah, so what we're gonna do today is it's baseline of just getting this thing going again. And so today we're gonna install the piston rings, make sure everything's gapped correctly, and then later on, to give you guys a little preview, we got the head, it just came back, it's all packaged up. We got our Cometic gasket kit, and then just to give you guys a little something, that's the 3076R that we're working with there. So I'm super pumped to get this thing back on the road. Last time that we built this car, I put down 420 to the wheels on 18 pounds, and we want to shoot over 500 this time around. The car is fully built except for the crank and the cams. And so according to the guy, we were getting held back by the head. It had blow-by the whole time. It was not running quite right the whole time, and so come to find out, that's why. So 9 years later, here we are. And today, again, here we got a piston ring gap filer. Picked one up from Jegs, about 50 bucks. And take the old rings off the pistons, even though the pistons and everything were fine, and we'll put the new rings on. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got the car lowered down on the lift, and just a little snapshot of what we're working with. So left the motor in here, and then here's all the pistons that we have. So these are CP pistons. We have Eagle rods. Then we also have ACL race bearings that were on the car before. And so what we're going to do is we're going to end up removing the old rings that were on the car, even though that there's only 5,000 miles on this motor. It's always good just to replace the rings just in case. You never know. And so got a set of these from CP Pistons. Comes with the the whole thing. So we got 6 sets of these. And so what we're going to do is we're going to gap the rings and make sure that everything's good to go. Now I want to run around 23-24 pounds of boost on this car. Before, like I said, we were running 18. Before I gapped the rings to handle around 23-24. And so what we're going to be looking for, I talked with the CP Piston rep just to double check that all my numbers were correct. And we're going to be running 18 thousandths on the top ring that we're going to gap them at, just to make sure it can handle 25 pounds of boost. So we're going to get the old rings out, put the new ones in, and I'll be kind of going through it with you guys, kind of show you how you do that. And then also, this is that piston ring filer. So ring goes in here, you'll spin this plate, and then there's a certain way that you want to do that at an angle and stuff like that. And then when you place the rings on here, you want to make sure that they're opposites of each other and stuff like that to make sure oil doesn't end up getting through. So you don't want too big a gap on your piston rings, because then the oil is going to go through and it's going to cause blow-by. You don't want too close of a gap, because when it's under boost and it creates all that pressure and it's squeezing right there, you can bust a piston ring. And so it's a real fine in between. So yes, you're dealing with thousandths of an inch, and you want to make sure, really take your time here with this. Got to make sure it's done right. Last thing you want to do, this is the heart of the motor. The last thing you want to do is put these together and then be running on the dyno and then bust a ring. Okay, and before the rings are installed, what you need to do is you need to hone out the cylinder walls. Now you want to get a tool just like this. It has those diamond, cutters, if you will, on the side there. It just attaches to a drill. And what you're going to be doing is making crosshatch marks inside the cylinder wall, so that way it helps the ring seat. Now, on an RB motor, you want to be careful when you go down in here, because you can see that there's those oil squirters right there. So you don't want to go down too far and bust one of those oil squirters off. Also, if you look, you can see how far the piston goes down, and I can see it's going down to about right here. So, you know, I only need to go down about that far. And actually looking at this, it's looking pretty good, those crosshatch marks from before. So I don't need to go in a whole big detail of making sure that it is cross-hashed. It's looking pretty good as is. I'm just going to go back in there and refine it. We only got less than 5,000 miles on this motor right now, and so I'm just going to go in and just make sure everything's touched up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is spray a little bit of lubricant in here, just some WD-40 to help out with that. And then, again, take your time. You don't want to be rushing this step. You want to go up and down with the drill, make sure it has a nice crosshatch pattern, and afterwards go ahead and clean it out, get rid of any of that material. And again, you don't want to go too much because you can start to remove too much of that cylinder wall. So you want to be very careful in doing this step and take your time. So let's get right into it. Okay, so we got cylinder 6 done. If you guys look, you could see on the crosshairs there, it's a little bit more silver of a tone than versus cylinder 5. You can see the difference right there. And that's what you want it to look like. Nice pattern. And then we'll go ahead and do the rest of these real quick. Alright, and we are done. If you guys look, you can see got a nice crosshatch pattern in all 6 cylinders. And so that's it. That's how you hone your cylinder walls.